coming back to winemaking, you mentioned at the beginning that you started working with Pinot Noir, and it became like the legacy grape variety for you, and you are very famous for it. What do you think is the special effect of Pinot Noir? Why does it have this huge potential?
It's known to be a thin-skinned variety, and so it's very delicate. I guess I'd say that of all the varieties I've ever worked with, it is the one variety that shows its flaws first and the most. So if we're getting in the technical side of things, let's say you have a barrel that is flawed, and it has something that we call ethyl acetate. It smells like acetone or nail polish remover. You can have a Chardonnay in a barrel that is flawed with ethyl acetate, and from the analysis standpoint, you could be up at 300, 350 parts per million. That's just a measurement. And it won't be expressed sensorially. You will not smell it on the wine. With Pinot Noir, if you get above 100 parts per million, it smells, 100 is the threshold, the sensory threshold, I'd say, but you get up into 120, 140, and it just smells, all you smell is nail polish remover and acetone. So that as an example, but that rings true for everything from acetic acid like vinegar, any barreling like over oak. You're gonna see that expressed much more so in a Pinot Noir than other varieties. So you have to be very delicate, but when you get it right, it is so truly expressive. I think that is what people are drawn to. That's what I'm drawn to with it. The challenge is fun. Being able to try to make a great, clean, expressive wine is the challenge. And I think that making Pinot Noir makes your skill set of making other wines elevated as well. So I think that the curiosity with Pinot Noir for people is that if it's a good wine, soundly made, and doesn't have any major flaws, then you are truly experiencing, because of this kind of thin-skinned nature, it does carry the vineyard site with it better than the other varieties. And so I think that people seeing that, I don't necessarily believe that, if you have a vineyard that's 1 mile away from another vineyard, that you're going to see a huge difference. But people do that all the time. They'll say, well, we have this vineyard in Russian River, and then another vineyard in Russian River, and these are going to be the differences. You may have smaller differences between those, but I think overall, if you move to a different appellation, you're going to see these vast differences. And there's no right answer to it. It really comes down to what the consumers' preferences are. Our wines aren't for everybody. I understand that, and Burgundy is not for everyone. Napa Cab is not for everyone. But there are people out there that once they find that wine and their journey begins, then you never know where it's going to go. And I think that the amount of choices that people have is one of the things that is so enticing about wine. In the U.S. here, you can explore 14,000 different wines any given day of the week. And I think that that enjoyment. If you fall in love with a Rioja and you're like, oh, I want to try more of these, then you explore all of Rioja. Maybe you even do a vacation to the Rioja region, and you're going to have a great experience. You're going to see their culture. You're going to enjoy their food, the beauty. The thing with wine is if you travel because you love wine and you go to wine regions, you're bound to find not just the wines you love, but you're also going to find great food, great culture, great ambiance. It's usually in beautiful areas. And so I think that a lot of that draws people to wine, and then captures them, and they stick to it. And so I think with going back to Pinot Noir, you can travel all throughout the state here of California, and you'll find different expressions, different even cultural nuances between each one of these regions, from Santa Barbara to Monterey to Sonoma, and all of them having something interesting to provide as far as an experience, not just with the wine, but also at the location.
Yeah, I do think that it is a very expressive variety.
Thanks for watching this video. You can watch the full podcast episode by clicking here, or watch another interesting video by clicking here. Let's continue the discussion in the comment section, and see you in the next one.